Like
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I
I haven't had much
honestly, it
of
was
it yet.
probably it was probably just like work was beating the shit out of me for the last 3 days, like physically,
And
and I'm just dead.
and in fairness, it is pretty hard to like be motivated when we don't have our amazing artist in the stream. You know, no game
I know.
arts,
No,
no
you're
doodles.
you're
I
kind of
know.
not wrong. We
We missed
kind
him
of
yesterday in
need
the Starfinder
Scange.
game too, and it was real
Yeah,
sad.
it was so sad.
Scange has inadvertently made himself so important to campaigns that it's
Yeah,
like
Indispensable.
he is
he's
indispensable.
indispensable.
He's the best player. He is.
It's so sad.
I don't. It's so sad. Reblog if you cry every time.
Reblog if you cry every time, for real.
Cry every time.
Every time. I just feel relaxed.
It's fine.
You know what?
Closing out
This happened?
things. Let me jump on the Twitch.
Tweet.
Twitch. Let us get to the Twitch.
This is the moment where I go, oh, well, my water broke, so bye, guys.
If that happens, I quit. I quit
You
today.
quit. You would just quit.
I have no reason
Oh.
to quit,
Yeah,
but I do.
If you guys haven't like created a Twitch account and followed my Twitch channel, please do. Every follow helps.
I feel like I did. I'm
I
just
know.
so bad at-
I know Aaron has because I see Zarafi right in the list of.
Oh yeah, I know
me
you
too.
have. I know you have.
Yeah, I support my friends' Twitch streams. I try to at least.
Rennie has for sure. I see that right there.
I'm literally the worst at stuff like that. I have to figure it out.
I need my stuff.
Pretty much as soon as you told me you had a Twitch channel, I was like, Gibbs.
Yeah.
Gibbs me to Twitch.
Oh, I am gonna follow you on Prime. I just used it last month, so I'll follow you. Sorry, I'll subscribe to you tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
I didn't forget. It's just I'd already used it last month.
I'll be honest, I haven't streamed in like 3 weeks. My
know.
last couple Starfinder games that
Hold
I
on.
streamed, I was just like, you know what? No.
I just want to get you that $100 or whatever.
I know.
Hell yeah, I gotta hit that limit before I can cash out.
Woo.
Yeah, yesterday he's like, no, I don't feel like streaming. And I was just like, well, then don't whine about not having people follow you.
I mean, people don't follow me when I stream anyway. It's not different. I just don't have expectations of people following me when I don't stream.
Alrighty. Low energy stream. Let's go.
All right. Super cool. Yeah, low. All right, there we go. All right. So, last we left off, our party made their way to Neverwinter. Immediately checking in at the gate, they were brought over to the castle, in which Lord Neverember had an advisor talk to them about their mission so far with cleaning up the Tribor Trail. Some information was dropped, whereas it's not bandits on the Tribor Trail. It is a dragon, or, as one of our companions has said, 2 dragons. There's 2 of them now. The band. So, with that being said, hey, saw your Twitch thing. I didn't know that you had Admiral Mimo on there. It's my boy. So, with that being said, super distracted. You guys talked to Revi's sister about finding a soul, figuring out that because the way the soul allows you to emotionally act with not only your surroundings but your memories, when your soul is separated, you lose both. And the only way to get that connection back is through a strong or traumatizing memory. And with that, their Naga chased down the pineapple incident. After remembering what that is, she broke down in front of the constable's office. Meanwhile, Leston found an old companion, Duncan the dwarf, and set him up in the Church of Moradin to help with his mental health issues. We're going to pick up from there. Somebody just say me for who wants to start, because we got you guys in all different places right now.
Look, I'll start because I kind of knew what I wanted to do at the end of last session. So firstly, Leston actually, she's trying to find a shop that she's never been to before. So she kind of only vaguely even knows that it even exists. So once she's in the market district, she's actually going to cast Locate Object. And what she's going to do is she's going to cast Locate Object on an object she's pretty sure that this shop sells and that literally nobody else would own because it is incredibly likely to be fatal to the user. She's going to cast it on Wood Sprite's Wondrous Wildfire, which is essentially it's an invention made by her older sister, which is essentially a flamethrower using alchemist's fire. Which, if you don't know, alchemist's fire basically ignites when exposed to air. So it has this incredibly bad habit of every single time someone tries to use it, it just explodes and kills whoever's using it, or burns them horribly. So she's pretty sure the shop that tries to sell it won't have sold any copies of it, but we'll try and sell it anyway. So she's going to cast Locate Object on it and try and find the store.
So yeah, that's actually not only am I surprised that you had that spell, which is great. The use of the spell is amazing because no one ever fucking uses Locate Object. So yeah, you are in the market square. It's still around noontime. The place is bustling like New York Times Square. But kind of looking around, you get a sense of kind of where one of these objects is, and kind of leads you northwest, a little bit out of the square. You start going down kind of like a main road, and then you turn onto a side road that's still near the square, and you see some shops over there. Definitely a bit less foot traffic, probably not the best location for real estate, but you know, it is still on like a shopping street. It's just not the market square. But yeah, you kind of follow this hunch, and with you find, if you wanna drop the name of the shop, because you definitely would know that.
Yeah, so she's looking for what she believes to be the only branch office of Wood Sprite's Wondrous Inventions. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Her family business. What does the store look like?
Yeah, so kind of looking down the street, so it looks like there's kind of a couple oddities in the front window. This kind of weird suit that kind of looks like it's made out of like a little bit of the same material that maybe like a hot air balloon would be made out of. And it has a little card next to it saying self-inflating suit of self-defense. And you also see that like there's also another suit kind of like in the other side of the window, and like weird mechanical looking wings on it. But yeah, otherwise that it doesn't seem like there's a lot of foot traffic in and out of it. You'd probably be surprised if you find anybody in there, actually.
Okay, Lesson is gonna like try and from the outside see if she can get a look sort of through a window to see if the store is like manned, because she doesn't want to be recognized. She's still got her helmet on so that she's not visible, because she's trying not to be seen. So she wants to see if the counter is being attended. So I suppose this would be a perception check.
Yeah.
All right. Get on the right page.
And are you doing this at a distance, or are you like right up to the front glass there, like?
If at all possible, she would be trying to like climb some boxes like at a little bit of a distance. Like she would ideally not want to get right up to the window. As also because she is a gnome. I imagine getting like right up to the window probably isn't the best go.
A little bit of a dead giveaway, yeah.
Right. 9.
You don't really see anything as you hear something kind of from in there. Like you don't see inside, but you do see that the door shakes a little bit, and you kind of hear a little bit of a ruckus inside.
Okay.
It sounds like it's really hard. It's really muffled, but like one person exclaiming something, and then like kind of like debris, maybe.
Hearing that, Leston will get closer to try and hear better, but she won't like stand right in the doorway. She'll just try and get closer to the doorway to get a better listen.
As you get closer, you definitely hear two people struggling.
Can she make out words?
So at this point, if you're getting closer, you can probably see through the window too at this point. You can see that there is movement. It seems like there's two people. One of the person's back is to you, a shorter person. Definitely one of your siblings. The other one kind of seems like a human, or somebody of normal size and stature, like like at least 5 feet tall, rather than 2.5. However, only 2.5 feet of them are showing, as they are stuck in the ceiling.
Okay.
And the other one's trying to grab a ladder to help them down.
Okay. So it doesn't look like it's like, does it look like my sibling is being assaulted?
No. It looks like he's probably going to get sued, actually.
Okay. Okay, in that case, if that's the case, Leston is not going to intervene, then that's, like, she'll look like a little bit relieved that she doesn't have to intervene. This is just sort of like a day in the life of the family, then. Like, another invention has backfired.
Yeah. Give me one more perception check at advantage because of, like, how close you are.
Right. 11. She still can't see shit.
All right. Well, because of your proximity, you can see kind of like two things. You're not sure who the human is, especially because half their body is stuck in the ceiling right now. Their legs are still kicking and moving. The person that you see in there is Niall.
Yeah.
And you can see kind of like as he's like freaking out a little bit, trying to climb this ladder, trying to get them down. You can see that they are wearing some weird boots that seem to have like these like bouncy springs on them. That seem to be out. Very, very much what the 90s was trying to do with moon shoes.
Yeah.
Except 12 times more dangerous.
Yeah. Problem with those is you can't really control like your direction. Like you just kind of go like ping in every fucking direction when you try and use them. Yeah. All right. So he's gonna have a rough time trying to get it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But that's what you see.
Okay. All right. Okay, seeing that because like the shop is otherwise basically empty.
Yeah.
Leston sort of sees that she has kind of like two options here. Actually, Leston thinks that this is probably the best way to do this. Leston, seeing that he's distracted, Leston is going to go, like, around the front. She is going to, like, put 50 gold pieces in a bag, and put that in her Clockwork Soldier, which she's had on her this whole time. She's going to wind up the Clockwork Soldier and set it going into the shop and just let it go until it stops going. And she's going to walk away. And at some point, he'll notice it.
Yeah. Just give me a sec over here, because I'm just going to take that down as a note. I'm just trying to find your section over here with your backstory so I can put proper notes there. And you said that was 50 gold?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. $50 G's. I'm gonna start calling gold G's. All right, cool. So I have that over there, and you said that you were gonna walk back, kind of over into the square area, correct?
Yep. I'm going to walk back out into the market at a brisk pace to make sure I am out of there before he has any chance of noticing the soldier.
All right. So yeah, that thing is definitely set to go inside. It'll probably be about a couple minutes before it knocks into something and, he notices it, or it just spills over, or they're just done with the situation. It's something very
noise.
easy to notice in the shop.
It does make noise, but I'm figuring he's just too distracted to notice the noise before I'm gone.
Oh yeah, it's very like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was gonna sound. I was trying to sound
Right.
a human, and it was too much, and it's something. It's crazy. Like it was crazy in there, and it's here like like kind of like from the ceiling.
Right.
It's
not
very noisy.
He's probably not going to notice like a toy going halt, halt every 6 seconds, like for like about like a good 20-30 seconds, by which point I'm gone.
All right, so yeah, you go into the square now. I'm gonna need a little bit of a reminder over here. Our other two companions, three, I believe, are in front of the constabulary in the market district. With that being said, Sync, you were with the party as you saw Thurnago walk out of the constabulary and break down, or you were kind of...
No,
yeah,
he
I
was
think I
there.
remember you.
The guy yelled at him.
Okay.
He's trying to touch me.
So, how is that scene breaking down right now?
I basically see it as I'm just like getting myself together, and like I'm still kind of in like a shock phase because I'm getting all of my memories back from like forever, so I'm just still like processing. And I feel like Ray would be like, okay, we should like go somewhere, and then I don't know, Aaron would be like, oh yeah, home.
Well, I think his hair. Sync, you just got yelled at. Like, what
So
are you doing?
then Aaron will be like, go Aaron, go.
Mr. Sync, are you there?
He got distracted.
Did he?
No, I honestly have no idea.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna text him.
He's still in here,
Yeah.
so maybe he
see that.
just stepped away.
In the meantime, I'm gonna turn down this halfling festival music. This is crazy. Halflings know how to
Right.
party.
They sure do. It's my 111st birthday.
Yeah.
Frickin'
Right.
Bilbo.
I was on the phone.
Medieval town sounds good.
Medieval town.
What?
Yeah, because basically Thornaga is just trying to process everything that's like happening. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
What right now is going through Thornaga's mind, like the probably most prevalent stuff, really. What's it like in there?
In her mind, basically, is like, I know 100% what my mission is, what I need to do, which is obviously kill the dragon and now I know who it is, and it actually aligns with like the person that killed my mentor. So now I'm just like, justice. I need justice, and I need to go find this person. But then at the same time, I'm like, but that's like Sync's dad. And it's not like I am gonna be mad. Like, honestly, I'm like, if Sync like attacks me, if I go try to get his dad, whatever. So I guess in my mind, I'm like, how do I go kill this guy and like find him and like use Sync to do so, obviously, and then get my justice.
What
And it's okay to kill him because I was ordered to by my captain. So yeah.
What are your thoughts specifically, like about like what you just remembered about like Kasha? You know, like how is that breaking down? Because like you just remembered not only that flashback, but like every flashback that you've had.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I mean.
from when you first started, and like he was the only one that like wasn't an ass to you, and really tried to show you the ropes, to like, you know, him actually going to retirement and, you know, kind of trying to bring you in on this like thing that the department never would have let him do, and, you know, all that time with him fighting orc diversity and everything, and then just kind of that last moment where he just kind of looked you in the eyes, very you know, almost pleading for help as he like fell, you know, those 5 stories.
Right. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I thought my kid was talking to me. I feel like, oh my gosh, it's so much to process even in my own mind. I'm like, I don't even know what to think or how to feel. But like I said, I think her biggest like feeling is like anger and like just overwhelming. So I'm like, I really loved the story breakdown that you did and everything. I was like, I literally was standing up the entire time you were telling this. I was like, oh my gosh. And like, it was amazing. But yeah, I feel like she's all about revenge at this. Not really revenge. I want to say justice, because she is lawful good. And like, if she wasn't tasked to kill the dragon already, like, I don't think she would actually kill like Ion. I think she would have him go through a trial and stuff like that. But I think she's battling with stuff like that too, because it's like, this person put so much in, like poured so much into me, basically made me the half orc that I am today. And I couldn't get out of listening to this person. But I could have died. I don't know what that guy was capable of. But then I just watched my mentor die. See, there's so many thoughts. So many thoughts.
All right. Sync, are you back yet? Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. Is this on?
Mic feedback noises. He said that he got so quickly sidetracked with talking to somebody, but I guess at this point, Lustin, you see everybody in front of the constabulary. This is where you kind of enter in. Yet again, you see kind of where they left off, like Thornaga is breaking down basically in the middle of the street. Revi and Bob and Bobolina are kind of standing by awkwardly. Sync tried to approach her and kind of put a hand on her shoulder, and she like slapped him away and yelled at him. Like that's kind of the energy that you're walking back up to. It's very much not what you left.
Yeah, so Thanaga crying and like breaking down is kind of a new development, or rather an old development. She hasn't done that for a while, so Lesson would be kind of taken aback to see that and say, God, mate, are you alright? What's happened?
I got it all back. And I'm just like, and my hands are just like all in my face, and I'm just like, it's all there, it's all there. It's all there.
You're back. You're back.
All your old memories and even the new ones that you created after the event.
You're
Yeah.
you're back.
I look up at Lesson and I'm like, I'm back. And I'm just, obviously, there's like just tears all in my face. But I'm like, I'm back. I'm like shaking and I'm like, okay, like slowly getting up because I'm like, okay, like I'm like in the middle of the street crying like an idiot. I'm so sorry. I think I just need to just like, I don't know, not be out in public.
Yeah.
Feeling awkward.
Yeah, of course. Lesson will have a look around. Is there like an inn or a tavern nearby, somewhere a bit more secluded?
You would know that you might want to travel kind of like away from these streets for
Right.
that. Somewhere in a quieter district. Of course, you can chuck a rock and hit like 3 taverns on the way over there. But like, if you want one that really is quiet, you'd probably have to go to a couple dead ends.
All right. Okay. Lesson will head in that direction to try and get Thanaga away from the crowd. She's still like just a bit shocked because she was not expecting Thanaga to have her soul back. She's been like away for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lesson will lead her like away.
It's basically everybody, because everybody else is with me too.
Yeah, Lesson will lead her and everyone else away. Because she also knows the place. She has been here. It's been a while, but she has been here before. So she'll lead her somewhere that she's been before. That's a bit more secluded.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely do that. You guys travel for a little while, and as you do, you come across kind of like a more secluded tavern on the corner. It looks kind of like a 3-floor tavern, and it actually has a couple good smells emanating from it that you can kind of get. And as you get closer, you see that the name of the tavern is Lift's End.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like it's on the Lift's Rest. I'm sorry. That's what it is.
All right, I'll take everyone inside and try and get us a table sort of in the corner.
All right. Yeah, you go into there, and let me start playing the tavern stuff over here. You see that this place has kind of a couple things going on. It doesn't seem like it's too far populated, and still midday, so it's not like people are funneling in. You kind of see behind the counter there's someone just wiping down the bar and just serving a couple drinks to the stragglers in here. seems as though there is a goblin in the corner, kind of playing with this like wolf. He's like throwing him a couple pieces of meat, and it's weird because you smell like a strong smell of like chicken in this place.
Do you want something to eat, or
Chicken.
are you alright?
You go down. There's a house somewhere.
Just something to drink. Something to drink.
Alright,
As I sit like in our little corner
Am I there?
booth or something.
Yeah. You
Where have
guys,
you been?
you guys are
Sorry,
all there.
My brother. So my brother called me, and I'm all like, "Well, we're waiting for Eve anyways." I had Discord up. I was waiting for her to enter before I left them.
Daddy?
So I kind of left abruptly. But yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys.
that's alright. Leston will buy around for everyone.
All right. Yeah, you kind of you
But yeah,
you
you're
get
there.
up there, and as you do, you see that there is this like gold dragonborn. Seems like he's not really like looking like the barkeep type. He's kind of big, but he kind of looks over. He's like, what can I get you guys?
Just drinks for the table. How much?
Probably about what are there, 4 of you? 3 of you?
5 of us.
5. Just 1 silver piece. You guys want any meal with that? We have a couple specials.
I'll buy the meals for the group, Leston.
We actually have something pretty unique around here. It's called Clan Fire Shield Chicken. It's a unique herbs and spices from Clan Fire Shield. It's a dwarven clan out in the hills, and we have our chef that came up with the idea. She's not here right now, but we can definitely whip some of that up for you.
It's on me. Don't worry about it.
That sounds great, but I would like to unfortunately just kindly correct my friend Leston. There's actually 7 of us because of my dog right here, and I point to Ferno, who
Oh.
has 2 heads.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I didn't. No, yeah, you're quite right. I thought we were just getting drinks.
No
Yeah,
way.
if we're getting food, then yes, there's 7 of us.
Yeah. Ooh.
A tertiary story goblin leans over from behind the counter and like looks at your dog, and then goes back to where he was. But yeah, you guys get some of this world famous chicken that seems like it has a couple herbs and spices and is fried, and also you guys get some drinks. And it's all served at the table.
All right. How much were the meals?
Altogether, it was instead of 1 silver for just the drinks, it was 2.5 silver.
I pay the other 1.5 silver to the guy.
Right. No
And then
worries.
I give Ferno and the puppos their meals, and I'm all like gushing over them.
As you guys go and sit down, roll me a perception.
Keep.
All of us?
Perception?
Yeah, sure.
I wasn't sure.
Are we going to? Are me and Thanaga going to address the elephant in the room here?
That's whenever we were trying to do that earlier, but somebody was on the phone, so
I'm sorry.
you know.
I think it's basically just she broke down. I like kind of walked in. And you didn't have like the chance to talk. Like
Not
I
fair.
walked in just as like
I was still in
that
shock.
happened.
Well, she just pulled away from me, told me to get away from her, and I didn't even hear an explanation. Of course, I was stuck.
You rolled the 18, correct, Leston?
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes I don't know what string of rolls is where. All right, so yeah, as you kind of like look around, your paladin sense kicks in, and you kind of get this like weird sense of undead. And then you look around, you see a broom moving by itself, kind of like in the corner across the floor, and you realize that like the broom is kind of sweeping. But your paladin sense kind of senses that it's not an animated object; it's a spirit manipulating something.
Huh. Interesting.
Just something to notice.
Okay. Do I need to use like my divine sense, or is that fine?
It's kind of like you looked over and you saw this, and it was just like a little bit of like a sixth sense. But if you want to use your divine sense, like let's say that you do use it,
Yeah.
you are 100% sure that there is a ghost, like a poltergeist, moving that. Like you are dead sure if you use it.
Okay.
That's obvious.
But it's
And
sort of,
ghosts are everywhere.
it's literally just cleaning, so I'm sort of not getting like
Yeah, it's literally just cleaning. Like you looked at it for a little while, and it's not even near anybody. Like it's just cleaning.
I'm not getting like a negative sense from it, so okay, that's interesting. All right,
I'm just gonna run to the bathroom really quick.
no worries.
Sorry.
Are you playing D&D outside?
Okay,
She was playing D&D
so
outside.
it says I get like a present.
I just came home.
So it says like I can sort of get like a presence of strong evil or like a sense of like strong good. Like I know it just sort of like then it says like evil or that. So I'll guess I just say I don't sense like strong evil off of it.
It's the most neutral sense you've ever gotten.
Off of a ghost. Yeah.
The only sin this ghost has committed is not going to the afterlife.
Right.
That's it. It is 100% job dedicated.
Right. Cool. Interesting.
It's like when you die at work but you still can't call out.
Yeah. He was just like a ghost that like he like didn't pray to any gods in life, so he just didn't go to any afterlife.
Yeah. He like died and like somehow he still got a call like, "Hey man, like we're kind of short staffed. Could you come in?" Let me rest in peace. Just ghost leaves the coffin and goes over there.
I'm going to give Thurnaga the food that I bought her, and I'm gonna look at her like suspiciously, like.
Well, let's wait until she comes back because I think she's.
Oh, that's
she's
right.
That's
right.
why we're stalling right now, talking
That
so much
makes
about this ghost.
sense. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
In the corner, there is a handsome human man playing a bit of a lute, collecting some tips as well.
I would like to go over there and listen and then tip him.
You listen from your seat as Thurnaga gets back from the restroom.
All right, fair enough.
Yes. The powder room.
The powder room, as they kindly say. I'm gonna go over to the Thanaga and I'm gonna hand her the plate of food and give her like a look, like, what was that all about? You okay? You okay there, champ?
I pushed the food away because I did state earlier that I was not hungry, and just like, I just have a lot going through my mind right now.
Yeah, what happened?
Okay.
Like,
What happened while I was gone?
so we went to see Ray's sister, and she told us that the soul is basically the glue that connects your emotions and your memories together. And the only way that I could get my soul back was to trigger a very traumatic memory. And I just had this like feeling in the like, pit of my stomach that I knew where I could find that. So I went and I found it. And it was like a punch in the gut. Oh, gosh.
Did you bring the pendant with you?
Yeah, I should have had it with me.
Okay. Did you just like pocket it, or are you wearing it?
I think I was clutching it in my hand really, really tightly. And then I open it and show it to Bleston. Kind of hand it over to her. Just like, it's a picture of, what's a picture of it in there?
So there's a picture of. Let me because there's a quote in there too.
Yeah. I
So
don't remember
just
if
give
I
me a
wrote
second
that
here. So it's a pendant, and inside there's like a formal drawing of like Kasha and like his like uniform.
Mm-hmm.
and there is an inscription on it that says, T, remember that you're always meant for more. You'll make a great detective one day. Kasha.
I think, like, just for a second, like, Lesson will say that, and, like, for a second, she'll think of Kieran, and, like, she'll just, like, without saying a word, like, she'll understand what this means to Thanaga, and, like, why,
Oh, yeah.
looking at this, she got her soul back.
Yeah, it's 100% like, you know, something that like you, if you like were in service with somebody, which you guys both were,
Yeah.
and you know, especially with Karen and Kasha, you know, them being kind of like mentor figures, like you
100%.
would 100% see like the intrinsical value of this, you know.
Mentor figure / best friend. Yeah. She'll close,
Yeah, exactly.
close the pendant and give it back. And just sort of like give a nod. And I think she'll just say, it's no longer with us, is he?
No. Not anymore.
Sync, are you?
Yeah.
Is Sync able to see this pendant?
I mean, he sees me hand it over to Leston. I don't know if he's like trying to look at it or like.
Do you look over at it, Sync?
Yeah, I can look over it at it. That sounds like something I might do out of curiosity.
You out of curiosity, you look over and you see this pendant. You see the picture in it, and you know it definitely looks like this pretty burly orc. You know, there's definitely a little bit it's just like, I don't know, maybe he has a famous face, maybe you've seen an orc that looks like that before, but it's like a brief familiarity, like just a quick ping of it, and then it's like absolutely nothing. So it's you kind of just shrug it off. You're like, I don't know, maybe it could be her dad or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe it's because it looks like her. I don't know. Just, well, all orcs look the same.
I'd kind of like
this.
I kind of like went at it a little bit, and I'm like, huh. And then I just kind of like play with Bruno.
Furno is eating some chicken. The fiery spices of the Clan Fire Shield chicken definitely gives him a little bit of like fiery burps. He's enjoying it.
You should have something to eat. You've had a really big day, even though it's only lunchtime. Gotta keep your strength up.
I hear that, and I kind of like fly. I smile at their knock and kind of like slide the food here again and nod, like, "Go on, eat it."
I'm sure.
I just have this like weird look on my face. I'm trying to like imagine, like, I want to like scowl, but I don't. Like at Sync, I just kind of give him like this, like dead blank stare. Like I have no idea what to do with you, and the like things that are like in my head right now. But I still push the food to the other side where he can't touch it. Like,
if you don't,
I'll do what I can.
if you don't feel like if you don't feel like having the chicken, just here, have an extra ration.
I don't even have those.
Oh no, another ration that she's never gonna write off on her character. I'm sorry, it's just oh man.
Lesnar will just hand over a ration if she doesn't feel like having the chicken, and just give that to the nugget just to keep if she's not gonna have that.
There's some flies in the basket too if you pick at it. Yeah.
I use telekinetic movement, and I kind of chuckle, and I kind of like put it right in front of her. I'm like saying, and I say, Leston's right. You really should keep your strength up, Suranaga.
Lesson just...
What? Wait. Hold up a second. Hold up a second. What part of the meal are you like telekinetically like hovering?
The
is
plate.
it a piece of chicken or is it the plate?
Yeah,
okay.
So
Hold on. Thurnaga, after the super traumatic experience that you just remembered, there is now a plate telekinetically hovering in front of your face.
No. I'm not telekinetic. No. I want to rephrase here. I am simply sliding it to her with my telekinetic movement.
Can I roll?
Well, you see
insight?
him slide over an object with telekinetic movement.
There you go.
And-
I accept that.
I'm sorry, feed me the line again. What'd you say, Aaron?
Never mind.
Line.
I said, after this traumatic experience, you see Sync look over at the plate and move it over to you telekinetically.
It's playful banter is what it's the only thing I know right now is I'm doing it playfully. Like, we care about you.
Yeah.
Please be better.
I
So I'm
didn't
just-
know
I'm
if
just
you
trying
said
to-
something. That's all. I didn't know if you said. So like my fist tightened and I basically throw the plate to the other side of the table, and I'm like, I'm not hungry, okay?
The
Kind of like
jazz music stops.
I kind of like.
I brush it off. I'm just like, sorry.
Yeah, all right.
Jazz music starts again.
She's been through a lot today. Thing. She said she's not hungry. Let's just leave it alone. What's the go? What's the go now? What's our plan from here on? We staying here for a while. What's our goal?
Well, I think my goal would be to find the other dragon so that Ion can. Well, I could go find Ion, and have Ion help us find the other dragon and kill him, because we need help. That would be my goal.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. We should find Ion.
Okay.
And I just will stare at Weston, like I don't know, like she's supposed to know what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Like-
she knows. She gets it.
Okay. I figure she would, but some people are like,
Where do we start? I think at this rate it's more likely that he's gonna find us. We don't really have a clue where he's supposed to be. Aside
kinda
from
get
he's
a little-
in the area.
I kind of get a little serious at that point, and my smile kind of goes away. And Leston, while I was on the ground, I actually know the direction that he's going. I saw him fly off. We could follow that as a lead. He was flying south towards the mountains, so we at least know the direction.
Okay. South from where we were, towards the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
do you know of anything that would interest him, like a place in the South that he would go, like another orphanage kind of place, like
Well,
where you could-
I don't, but his orphanage is actually not too far away from here, and my house, the house that he left me, isn't too far away from here either. We could go there and search for clues.
I'm sure you do want to go back there. Thing is, okay, we need to. Finding this dragon is important to Eve because she kind of gives a look over to Sink, the other dragon, because that's going to free her sister, right?
yeah.
Yes, very important to Eve, who I've been calling Revi this whole game.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. I've just been thinking.
Lesson kind of has like a bit of like a serious look on her face. She's kind of like pauses for a moment and has like her thumb and forefinger like across her eyes, just like she's thinking. Okay. Right. Yeah, maybe we should investigate this where Sink grew up while we're here. I mean, we're not gonna really get a chance to come back before we head south. Can't
I
hurt.
get really excited about that. Yeah. Oh, I can see. Oh my goodness, I get to see my brother again. Oh, I get to see both my brother.
You
I hope they're there.
you have brothers?
I'm so excited. Oh, yes. I've never mentioned them before.
Not that I can.
I'm sure I've mentioned them before. Of course. Of course I've mentioned them. It's I gotta remember their names. It's
Hayden
Hayden.
and Killian.
Thank you. It's Hayden and Killian. I've told you guys stories about how I used to grow up with them. You guys, come on, Leston. You know who they are. You know about them.
Has he told me about them?
Aaron, do I get inspiration points for remembering their names? By the way,
You do inspiration all day
DM
long,
inspiration.
Inspiration to the day.
all day long.
I'm going to use that to murder you guys.
I imagine.
He uses it
I'm gonna
when
say.
he rolls in that one with the dragon, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are safe." Wait,
You know what?
inspiration.
I'm going to retcon that Sync actually probably did tell me about them, but it was during one of the
No, he
times
didn't.
when no, but he probably actually might have told me about them, but it when Leston was totally in one of her phases where she was totally not listening to a single word, in one of her really bad mood phases, not listening to a word
No,
anyone
Leston
said.
was drunk as hell.
Yeah.
And Sync was just oh my gosh, then I have my brothers, and they were and he's jabbering away, and you're just nah, I'm not.
I imagine that probably also happens when you guys are traveling for 8 hours at a time on the road.
Oh sure.
It's oh man, look over at that butterfly. Also, my brother does this, my other brother does this, and my sword glows like this, and Inferno's really hungry right now, and then that thing's really cool. Look at that car going by.
Yeah.
Just kind of the super ADD thing. You guys are just shut
I'm
up.
sure we haven't seen that rock before.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen that rock before. It looks very
Guys, that
nice.
tree looks way more green than the tree that we just passed. Oh my gosh, we should leave some of that tree.
Would you say that's green, or an emerald green, or a Kelly green? I don't know. I feel
With a little
I
line.
feel like a Bernaga
You
green,
guys- You guys flash back to one of those times where he said that, and you're oh yeah, he did. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Lesson,
I just
Lesson
got my
just
memories
tunes him
back,
out.
Okay?
Lesson is
I
sometimes
had a lot of files.
just tunes him out sometimes.
Oh man.
That's rude.
That's rude, he says.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, but by the way, out of game, I absolutely have not told you guys, but I'm 100% convinced I have.
Yeah.
And although you guys are, maybe I did, and I totally
Yeah,
might
out
have
of
been
game?
passing
Out of game, you
yeah.
haven't.
but
Out of game,
fun
I'm sure
times.
you
But yeah, for
In
sure,
game,
I would like to go there.
in game, it's funnier if you have and just Lesson didn't listen.
Yep. Oh, way funnier if I had.
Oh yeah, I
everyone-
totally heard about that. Right.
Anyways, we should head over there. I really hope Hadian is there. You guys would love Hadian. Hadian was the best brother growing up, and it was just great. Best brother. Killian he's okay. Him and I didn't really get along, but he's okay. Anyways, I'm gonna walk out the building, and actually, I would kind of like to stop by my home first, if that's okay. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, where are you going
I'd say
first?
we're
Because
the
the
same.
orphanage is closer.
The orphanage is closer than the home.
Mhm.
Let's go home first, and then I'll go to the orphanage. Unless you want me to go to the orphanage.
The orphanage is closer.
So you want me to go to the orphanage?
Sure.
Hey, I'm not telling you where to go, but
It's not like there's a solid map of this place, but from wherever you are, the orphanage is sure closer.
Is it a lot closer, or just a little?
Kind of bordering significantly.
Oh, I
it's
see.
right next door. What's
It's
the
right
orphanage?
next. So, what did it take to get inside? I gotta go up. That was fun. I'm trying to stop. So it would take a day to get to the house, and kind of length.
It would take as much stalling as I would need.
So am I to understand I am not supposed to go to the house today?
We're going to the orphanage.
You can go to
Okay.
both. But one is definitely closer.
All right, let's go. Let's go to my house.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
The directions to your house are clearly from the orphanage. No. Okay. So yeah, you guys you guys plan to head out there. You guys already paid your tab ahead of time.
Yep.
It's gonna leave the table a mess.
Of
You
course
guys even
not.
eat
Not
any of
my
that chicken?
job.
I give the plate of food to Ferno real quick as he cleans them up. Pre-wash.
All right. Well, since you guys have sat down and eaten a meal at a restaurant, you guys don't have to write off a ration.
Nice.
Oh,
Fuck you, Leah. Just throwing it out there.
Don't need to write off a rat.
I'm
need to
glad
write off
you
a
reminded
ration.
me because I would have just done it out of pure habit.
Yeah, pure habit. You would have absolutely written that off every day. Absolutely. You bastard. It's gonna wait until I teleport you guys into like the middle of like a desert biome, and then like, oh no, your rations didn't go with you.
Oh crap, that's all right. I would be okay because Ferno can hunt for me once a day. I don't know about everyone else though, but I would be perfectly fine.
I would be too, not like I needed them anyway.
He finds a sand sandwich.
There are lizards in the it's lizards and snakes inside the.
Yo, I think Krusty Krab pizza would deliver.
The crusty
Just
cray, yeah.
Yeah, pizza, yeah.
Are you
What
doing?
is with all these?
After walking down the street
Yep.
with a takeout box and beatboxing over it while holding it, and Leston doing her best Squidward walk, you guys finally make it over to this school dojo thing. And Sync, why don't you give us the name of this place? And
It's
the
Cobra
description.
Kai. It's Cobra Kai.
This place is
Cobra Kai.
called.
Cobra
It's
Kai.
called what? It's
Cobra Kai.
definitely not Cobra Kai.
Come on!
It's like an 86 Firebird, like in front of it, that's all beat up. And it's just like a worn out blonde dude that's, smoking a cigarette outside, like lost all of his life meaning.
Drinking his beer.
It's called the Shining Field.
You said Shining Shield?
The Shining Field.
That's canon now.
Ain't it? I didn't really like it. I didn't come up with the name of it. Oh well.
You didn't come up with the name with your own school?
No, I think I did, but I couldn't find it in the thinking. I couldn't find it in my backstory, so I just said something random.
All right, so you guys find the School of Ability, and as you guys approach the School of Ability, what does the School of Ability look like?
Best DM ever. Okay, so that I know. So the school looks very much so like just a typical larger building. The windows, there's a stained glass window right above the actual main entrance, and there are just two windows on either side of the door. The door is actually made of like this really nice wood. It's like a reddish wood.
Mahogany.
And above the door, mahogany. Yeah, there you go. And above the door, there is an emblem, and the emblem looks much like this. I sent it to Psycho.
Yeah, I don't have it to show everybody.
I have it.
Put it in
The
chat.
emblem look. Yeah, well, it looks just like this is the emblem of the school.
Nice.
So that's its emblem. And the emblem is not. The color is black essentially. It looks just like that. That's what the emblem looks like.
Is this
Yeah,
the
it has.
same scar on you? Okay.
Like it has more
I didn't know
intricate patterns around it, but that is like in the center of the scar.
I did not know that.
Okay,
Yes.
well, yeah, that's what I... Cool.
I didn't know that. Pretty cool. But the building itself, again, looks like a typical building, although it's white. It's white that has this black emblem and a red mahogany door. It's very well kept. It has multiple stories. It has 3 stories, one per room, a courtyard, and it has an area for, like, and it has another story for rec rooms, such as like food, and it's pretty nice. It's a nice building.
All right, yeah, you kind of approach the lower side of the stairs. With it kind of being a little bit later in the day, you would know that it would be kind of more like time for like martial practice and discipline. And remembering that, you can actually hear several voices from inside, very in sync. Okay, my inspiration's taken away. I get it. And they're
I'm
just
trying
like,
to think of an in sync song,
Hey!
so that way they could be in sync.
hey, and they're kind of like you can hear it and like hear like the stomping of the feet at the same time, like these movements.
Exactly
you know?
right. I get really excited and I open the doors.
You walk in and you open the doors and it just feels like home. All these familiar smells and sights. It's like walking into like maybe like a gym of an old school that you spend a lot of time at. And it's just like you see the polished floors and you kind of see all like the equipment around, and instinctively you take your shoes off so that way you can slide across the floor.
Sure,
and as you go over there, it looks like actually one of your brothers, Killian, is kind of leading these like martial moves as they kind of like move around with like these like wooden training swords, and they kind of move like rhythmatically at the same time. And Leston and Thurnaga, you guys are a little bit more martially trained with weapons. You can see that these moves are kind of the slowed down moves that Sync uses in battle. So it seems like, like when they kind of like do the stab and everything, like you've seen them do that, or you've seen Sync do that, but just a lot faster and being able to react to enemies while he's doing it. And as you walk in, you kind of bust the doors open excitedly, walk in with your crew behind you, slowly following behind. The class kind of stops and looks over, and Killian kind of like claps once, and he's like, "Continue training." And they go back into the motions, but he walks past them over to you and gives you a quarter bow.
Just about? Oh man, I go in for the full-on hug.
As you full-on hug, he kind of locks up a little bit, as if he's both surprised and also not surprised because it's you, but you kind of caught him off guard because no one else does that. And then he kind of like gives you a hug back, and he's just like, "Sync, what are you doing here?"
Killian, it's so good to see you.
You've been missing for the last month and a half. I stopped by with new recruits, and we all thought that you left with Hayden.
Wait, Hayden's gone? I was gonna ask for him.
No, he when you were kind of sent away for a few months, he was getting kind of antsy, and he disappeared when you disappeared.
Where did he go?
We thought that you guys went to the same place. I haven't seen Ion since he.
These are Ion's recruits. These are. He chose these guys.
They're new students.
Wow, they must be really impressive for him to choose these guys, huh?
He said something.
I think that means.
I think that the school has been just us training for far too long, and now that we're older and have somewhat mastered our arts, he trusts us to train them. And Hayden was training them for a little while as well, but he was rougher on them, and we actually had a couple drop out.
Well, Hayden, he's always he likes the idea of pushing them harder because it gets better results. You know how Ion taught us, and look at us now. Look at how good we are at what we do, and just Hayden's just really good at trying to emulate that.
He kind of like looks off for a moment. He's like just under his breath. He's like he broke one of their arms.
Did I hear that?
Yeah. Very low.
Well, when you break a bone, it becomes stronger. That's probably what he was thinking, Hayden. I probably was thinking Killian.
Look, Ion never went that far. And I know that we all had fun and picked on each other, and sometimes it was tough. And we definitely got a few staff hits to the face that were probably harder than they should have. But anyway, I'm glad to see you back.
I'm glad to be back. How's everything going around here? How are these new recruits shaping up there?
They're shaping up well, but I see you have some people with you. Are those your recruits?
Yes, they are my recruits.
You guys clearly hear this as you're walking in. Like
Listen,
the conversation is echoing, and you guys are now only a few feet behind this conversation if you choose to approach.
at being described as a recruit, like Leston arches an eyebrow, like clearly judging that description.
What is this, 40 years ago?
Yeah, like 20 years at least.
20 years?
Well,
Yeah,
25 years or something.
I don't know Gnome's age. I just know it was a while.
Yeah, I mean, Leston is in her 40s.
I think they show an awful lot of promise, and I think Ion would be really impressed if you would just give them the time to show them what they can do. I really believe that, Killian.
Well, are you going to come back and help me train them, and are they going to be training within our ranks? What's going on?
I believe that this group behind me is quite advanced and wouldn't benefit from the training that we have here. They are all masters of their own arts, so to speak, as it were. So no training is necessary. I do not plan on coming back as of right now, Killian. I still haven't found Ion. He's still avoiding. He's still off somewhere, and I can't find. Have you seen him? You said you saw him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was only a couple weeks ago, and he brought me these students a few weeks ago.
And that was it. Did he say anything about where he was going?
No, we talked about where you were. He noticed that you were missing, and he seemed pretty upset about it. Hayden Hayden and him kind of had a little bit of a heated conversation, and it sounded like he wanted to go and find you, but Ion said that he would do it and then let us know. And a few days after is when that incident happened, and then Hayden up and left, and we assumed.
No, Hayden never came to me. Killian, Ion actually did come to me. Him and I actually fought. He was training me, of course. It wasn't to the death, but he did. Can you come here for a second? I would like to show you something.
Sure. Can you tell your friends to take their footwear off, please?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, Naga, Leston, do you mind taking off your shoes? It's just a respect thing here.
Also, it's tough on the floors. We wax them and buff them.
This is going to take a
Part
minute.
of the training, wax on, wax off.
Of course.
It's going to take a minute, but sure. Listen, it's going to take a while to take off her, heavy armor, graves. Or whatever they're called.
Okay, that's hamburgers.
If you
I just
can
want
fit
to
into them, we have some softer kind of booties at the front. You may be able to put those over your greaves or whatever,
That would be
and
preferable
maybe
to
that would be
taking them
better.
off. Yeah, that would be preferable to taking them off. It's actually takes.
Yeah, I would never ask a warrior to fully take off their armor. I understand. So if you just want to use the booties, that would be great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
with
he
that a
goes
little
with you.
bit. Kind of get upset with that a little bit because he's the one that asked me to ask him to take him off, and obviously that was very frustrating. You're the one that asked me to ask them to take it off, Killian.
Forgot about the booties.
I'm sorry. I just had to carry my son into bed. What did I just miss?
Nothing.
You missed a lot of booty talk.
You missed a lot about booty talk.
A lot of
Yeah,
booties.
booty-
He's
all
pointing out
booty.
booties left and right.
Booty, 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 booty.
Rocking every way.
But yeah, can we go into? Well, I guess is it your office now, or is it still Ion's? It's probably Ion's. Can we go into Ion's office?
Sure.
I say that.
And-
No, it is probably his now.
You go over, and it seems like a lot of Killian stuff and Ion stuff is mixed up, but it's very still very neat.
I'm
you
with
see.
So I'm following him.
Oh, you followed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sync. Yeah, they're not gonna
That's
follow.
fine. That's all right.
Meantime, I think Lesson's looking around for booties, not having any luck.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are they? Actually, I can sum up a lot of campaigns. Badger's character looks for booties.
That's true.
That's very true. So, you guys, you three make it into the office. You can see that the walls are decorated with all kinds of martial weapons, some Eastern weapons. You can see like these two kind of like very short hand scythe looking weapons that are chained together.
Cool.
You see like a couple bow staffs on the wall. The Naginata, of course, you see one of those on the wall. And then like kind of a shelf with like a lot of books and a lot of scrolls. A couple of these scrolls are like on the desk, showing like these weird symbols and showing like depictions of like movements. So like you'll see like one picture of somebody in one position and then another picture of somebody in another position, kind of like a little bit of like an outline about how the hand moves from one to the other. So like all these forms, and they're all kind of written in this kind of strange language that's kind of like common but kind of not. Sync, you're kind of able to read it as you studied up on this. This is a little bit more of like an Eastern type language. So you understand a lot of the symbols and a lot of like what it generally means. You're just like not fluent in it, but you can pick up a little bit of it. Mixed in with that, there's like a couple like armor racks and like a couple training racks around. Also some regular weapons as well. So it's a little bit all over the place, but it definitely looks well kept. No dust anywhere. Everything's shiny, and the desk is mahogany.
Okay, that's very important. I see you've got some of your stuff in here, but I'm sure Ion wouldn't mind. Killian, me and Ion and I kind of got into a little bit of a heated training situation where he wanted to see how far I progressed. And I ended up, of course, I lost because we all know how strong Ion, our master, is. But he left me with this mark, and we figure out what it means, or we know it gives me a strange defense power, but we also know that it does something else really bad and something else really good. I was wondering if you can take a look at this mark for me. And I kind of like unbutton my shirt and kind of like give it to him.
He immediately takes a look, and it seems like he studies it closely. He's like, I think I've seen that somewhere, but it's, and then he starts like rifling through some of like the bins of scrolls and some of the shelves of scrolls. And he starts looking at a couple things, and within a couple minutes, he comes back. Like he's only like a couple feet from you, but you know he walks back over with 2 scrolls. He's like, I was thinking that it was one of these, but it's crossed with another one. And he pulls out these 2 scrolls. And Aaron, what was the thing that we swapped out? I
just messaged you that.
You didn't answer me. You just talking about how awesome you. Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. I get it now. Oof, I'm so slow. Why do you guys ever give me inspiration? So he comes back and he points to one. He's like, this one is apparent. There's 4 different ones that are pretty close with only a few elemental differences. But this one, and he points to the outer ring. This one is the sign of the dragon. And it's coming up as one of the chromatic elements is ice, or the white dragon.
Hey?
The
Go on.
one on the most inner ring is kind of like the school, but it seems to have kind of... Have you ever seen Ion's friend with the black cloak? He comes around every now and then and he talks to him in the office. I don't know if...
Have I seen him out of game?
Every now and then, it's always been very secretive. Like he'll have you guys like clear rooms when you talk to him, and you guys probably have like looked in from windows after like sparring for a little while.
Gotcha.
And maybe one day like you walked in and like saw him, and immediately like Ion would like step in front of him, like smack you down. Like, but it's really hard to remember a lot of that. But you have like slight glimpses.
Yeah, I think I remember. I think I might remember him. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I think his name is Lucius. And he has an arcanic eye symbol on his robes. Kind of like we have our school symbol of power. And it seems as though that's engraved behind our school symbol. And that's letting off some kind of magic. Can I trust you with some information here?
Of course you can. We're brothers. Why wouldn't you be able to trust me?
He gives you a serious look.
I get serious, and I kind of look. Yes, Killian, you can trust me.
He looks around a couple times. You can definitely tell that, like, even though you guys are clearly, like, the 3 of you are in the room alone, like, he's still, like, looking around for Ion, just in case. But he looks, he's like, I've been going through some of the... Just took a glance at a couple of the forbidden scrolls. And
Killian, you know you're not supposed to do that.
You said I could trust you.
And I give him a nod. Go on.
One of them is the all-seeing eye. And I think that's what's behind our symbol. A power on this. He points towards the middle of your chest.
Are you saying that's watching me?
It might be. Did he say anything when he gave you this?
Oh, he totally did. I can't remember what you said though. Did we have that written down? He totally said something though.
He said that as you were passing out, and then he was transporting back. He burned. It was like an icy burn into your skin.
Yeah.
Kind of like touched over your clothes. So like he didn't even like take part of the gi off or anything. Like he just held his hand over, and as he did, you felt that burn, and he told you that you have to kill your party members.
Kill the
That's right. I remember that.
And
I remember that.
specifically start with the small one.
Oh boy, I'll look at Killian. You're right. He did say that. I'll look at Killian, and I look back to Thurnaga, and I ask her to leave the room.
Why?
I kind
Killian
of
is
don't
kind
answer.
of looking weirdly in between you two, but also expectantly at Thurnaga to leave.
I don't move. Because I asked why and I'm waiting for an answer.
I don't give you the answer. I ask that you trust me, Thurnaga, please.
I would definitely feel more comfortable staying and
Thurnaga-
hearing what you have to say.
At that
Have I
point,
given-
Thurnaga, as he asks you to trust him, you just remember the plate sliding across the table.
I remember the plate sliding across the table.
Telekinetically.
Whatever, I leave the room. But I stand close to the door.
I don't know that. That's
No,
fair.
I'm just saying.
As, yeah, so she leaves.
I lean closer to Killian, and Killian, Master told me to kill my friends, and to start. Killian, he told me to start with my friend right out there, the small one. I can't do that.
He kind of ponders for a moment. Maybe like he's adding a couple things up in his head, or maybe he's kind of like crushing expectations, or just there's definitely a look of like deep thought for a moment. And he just gives you a serious look. He's like, I don't like disobeying anything that Master says, but don't. I don't know what's going on. He's seemed weird since the last few times Lucius has been here. He's been pretty open with it, and both of them have been inviting in Hayden into the meetings as well, and being less secretive about him being around. But don't listen to that.
I can't. I don't know what to do. Why would he want my friends dead? Why would he want me to kill them?
There's a third part to that scar you have, by the way. And he pulls out the other scroll, and he kind of hands it over to you. I was thinking about it, and it seems as though the first one was activated, and the one behind it, from what I could tell with reading the markings of power, it too seems activated, the eye as well as the outer dragon ring. But this one seems kind of weakly activated, and I thought about it when I was looking through these scrolls, and I think that this might explain a little bit of what's going on. And he hands you another scroll, but this one is also from the forbidden pile.
Oh man, I kind of look at this questionably, like I'm not supposed to be reading these, but I'm gonna read it because I'm curious as to why he would want me to kill my friend. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it.
You look at the scroll, and immediately the first thing that you can see is, and because it's hard for you to read this language, you kind of get key words.
Yeah.
But you see kind of like this, the symbol of power is comprised of 4 things. Or at least the symbol, the scar on your chest. The outer ring is the dragon. The inner ring is this one that you're looking at. Or I'm sorry, the outer ring is the dragon. The second ring kind of going in is this one. The third one is your school symbol, and behind the school symbol is the eye.
Okay.
But it seems as though the middle one, the second one that you're looking at, is clearly shown over here. And from what you can read, it is a curse of obsession.
What, Killian? What does this mean?
And as you kind of look through it, it looks like it's not a standard curse, not something that you can just go to a cleric and get removed. It's something way, way more powerful. And it seems as though from what, like, he kind of looks at you, it's like, I think when he told you, how long has it been since he told you to, and he kind of like makes the sign across his neck and he kind of nods his head towards the door.
It's only been about 2 days, Killian.
Have you noticed anything different?
No, not. I don't believe I have. I still feel like me.
It may be latent, but it's definitely the right symbol. It may be activated. If that eye is spying on you, it may activate this. It seems as though there's a few stages to this. And it seems as though the first stage of the curse of obsession starts off kind of small, where you, and this is going to be weird, but you start to admire your reflections. And the next stage, it kind of makes you defensive about yourself, like trying to fight defensively so that way you don't get scars. Or it mentions over here becoming obsessed with trying to find any reflection of yourself. The next part, it looks as though you actively seek out a sort of domain with all these reflections and mirror-like devices. And lastly, it says something about, I don't know what this is, but you see a picture of this kind of like tree that has like a face in it. And it has these weird, sickly arm-like branches. But at the ends of the branches, instead of leaves, it seems like there's all these like leaf-shaped mirrors. He's like, something about a weeping willow.
Killian, are you saying if I don't follow Master's orders that I'm going to die?
Unless you have powerful magics to reverse this, and I mean powerful magics, I think it might go the way of the scroll. It seems very latent, and because of its powerfulness, it seems like it takes a while to activate. But if he is trying to force this curse to move because of disobedience, which, let's face it, Ion has punished for disobedience, it may go that way.
Have you read in the scrolls about how one can remove this?
I can study, but I think it will take some time. I didn't see anything on the scroll, and the language is still hard for me. But I can study it, and I can try to send you a message when I figure out any.
Please, Killian, that would be most appreciated. I can't I can't kill my friends. I don't. Why would Master do this?
I'm not gonna lie. Since he's been talking to Hayden's been getting more aggressive lately, and I think that's why the incident happened. One of the kids that were brought over just misstepped just a little bit, just slightly with one of the with one of our maneuvers that we practice, and it was only like a couple inches off to the left, and he tried to get back into position, but Hayden walked over and broke his arm. This kid was young, probably like 5, 6, and he was only here for about a week or two. And another one left the day after. Didn't even know that they left until they didn't show up. I've been helping out these kids, and they've been learning, but if they step out of line like that, I'm not gonna go that crazy.
Have we investigated Hadian's room to see if there's any information in there as to where he might go? And do you know of anything that's to the south? After my and Master's sparring session, I saw him fly down there. Why would he go south, Killian?
I mean, south of Neverwinter is Lelion and Phandalin. It's just what I know from the maps. And he points towards the map on the wall. It's a map of the Sword Coast, like you guys have. And directly south of Neverwinter, as you follow the high road across the Sword Coast. I'm going to keep on mentioning names so I sound smart. You see the Mirror of Dead Men, and just north of it, you see that there is a mark on the map that seems like it was drawn in a little bit later. But it says Lelion.
Lelion?
Yeah.
Lelion. Like that?
But that is, you looking at the positioning, you were in Coneyberry, which is like 3 days east. Directly south of where you were, or at least that area, is the Sword Mountains. He's just pointing south from where you guys are now.
Oh, can I rectify that then? If that's I thought it was just like due south. Can I rectify that from where I was south from there?
I mean, if you explain it to him, he just looks over. He's like, "That's just the Sword Mountains. I don't know what's there."
So allow me. What had happened was, thank you, Killian, but I meant south from this direction, and I point to it on the map as to where we were a few days ago.
Yeah, he follows it south, and he's like, just the Sword Mountains, and way further south than that, the Crypt Garden Forest.
The Crypt Garden Forest. Do you think that has anything to do with the tree in that symbol that you showed me?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
There's... Let me see if he knows. Rolling dice, because we do that sometimes in this game. Oh, he actually rolled really high. He kind of looks over. He's like, the Crypt Garden Forest, the only rumor of anything in there is a green dragon. But that dragon just guards the forest. And
that must
it's
be the
his
dragon.
domain. Could be an acid-spewing dragon, and it's at least hundreds of years old from the really big.
Gotta be it, and I kind of get really excited about that. That's gotta be it. He must be going down there to kill that dragon. Why is this stinking gravekeeper up all over the place?
You just noticed that now?
Yeah.
We are 14 minutes from ending the session, and you just notice it now.
He's rolled a natural
Notice the
one.
grave-
Natural one on his perception check.
I think you just logged in. That's why. That's just a ghoul taking over the town. It's a town of ghouls.
Okay. It sounds to me like I'm gonna have to tell my friends what is going on. I don't think I can keep that a secret forever.
I don't know what you want to or not keep a secret with them, but you definitely shouldn't kill any of them.
No, I could.
But you did.
Killian, I could never do that. Oh, I could never do that.
I believe you, but I don't know if this curse will force you to do that. I'm going to study how to fix it, but I don't know if I can come up with anything. If the scrolls here don't provide the answer, Neverwinter has a lot of wizards' towers, but it may take days, weeks, months maybe. I can send you a notice as soon as I know, but who's to say that when I come back or when I'm here studying and Ion comes back, who gave you that, who's to say he might not figure out what I'm studying? Especially if it's opposing his order to you. Or if Hayden comes back and his room is cleared out, there's nothing there. That's why we knew that he left when you left and he left a couple weeks afterwards. His room is cleared out.
And can I go? Could I go look at it real quick and see for myself?
It's open. Feel free. But you're just going to see a bamboo door and just nicely buffed out waxed flooring.
Nicely buffed up.
Thank you, Killian.
We take pride in our floors.
And doors.
And
you
doors.
have been so helpful in this matter. I'm gonna head south and see if I can find. I want to head south and see if I can find Ion. In fact, the selections that I have with me, they actually all want to find Ion too, but they believe Ion is evil. You and I both know he's not evil. I have to figure out a way to show them that he's not who they think they are, and I think the best way to do that is just to have them meet Ion personally.
As you start saying, like, you know that he's not evil and like he can't be the evil dragon, like you just see that Killian breaks eye contact with you and just starts kind of like looking down to the left as if he's just avoiding your gaze, your hopeful eyes. And once you're done with that, he just like, I'll look for the cure. I'll send you a message somehow. Even if you're out in the field, I can get it to you.
Thank you, Killian. I appreciate this your help. But
at this point, time is not your friend. And whether you confront Ion and he figures it out, or whether I figure it out and I send it to you, just know that those are probably the only two options.
No, my options right now are either kill my friend or die.
He just nods as he looks you back in the eyes.
I kind of look down in shock and disbelief and confusion. Like I have a lot of emotions going on right now. And I embrace Killian and I go over to Hayden's room.
Before you leave, he looks a little bit more hopeful and he just like puts both on your shoulders like, I will find it.
If you don't mind,
kill your friends.
If you don't mind, I'd like to wind back the clock. Like while that conversation is happening, at some point, Leston manages to locate the booty and wander up to Thurnaga, waiting outside the room, and find her, and just say, "Finally found these fucking things. They sent you outside, huh?"
The booties look nice. They feel nice. They're pretty nice booties.
Nice booty.
They sent you outside.
Leston's got nice boots.
Yes. So I've been trying to listen in through the door a little bit without being like sus. So I've been waiting for you guys to finish so I can be like, what do I roll?
Even more retroactive stuff. Roll a perception and a stealth.
Me.
And if you have medium or heavy armor, that's a disadvantage.
She has mithril armor, so there's
Even
no
if
disadvantage.
I'm just standing
Oh,
there.
mithril armor, you're fine.
Oh my, you're just standing. Okay, so I'm rolling a stealth and
Stealth and a perception.
okay.
It's a 9, so there's no disadvantage.
Yeah, it would be the 9.
And then is that a 10?
You hear pretty much most of what's going on. Maybe not the fine details, but anything that was like not whispered, like maybe you didn't hear like the "I have to kill my friends," but like like
Yeah, I was gonna say things I
more or less, it's like
to know.
we'll figure out this curse. Don't kill your friends, and then it's like okay, like those things like that.
I
That
heard
might
that.
be more what you're hearing.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Well,
that's
because
what
I'm
you
like,
hear, and
hey,
Leston has walked
hello.
over to you. So I'm gonna say there's like a maybe like a couple more minutes before he's leaving. Like, what do you do before he leaves that conversation?
I would like to point out of game, I feel like Thornaga is being uncharacteristically suspicious of Stink right now. I'm just saying.
You think I'm being uncharacteristic?
She's
Absolutely.
no, she's not suspicious of you. She's suspicious of Ion.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to repeat a couple facts that happened within the last couple episodes. She saw her mentor with Ion. Ion
Yeah.
said, "Don't leave anybody alive." A book flew off the table by itself, hit her mentor in the head as he fell out the window and died. And then as she looked up in the rafters, the shadow of like this devil horn figure left out a window. And then back at the restaurant, there was a plate moving by itself, sliding over to her.
Interesting thought process. I will allow that. Good thought process.
Thank you for allowing me to play my character.
Oh, no. You were being okay.
How
No,
was
I'm
I
talking
being
about. Don't worry about it. Go on. I'm excited.
Anyway, so Leston.
Okay. I was just
So Leston walks up and says, "Listen, I'm glad you're back because I'm glad we have a moment alone because we need to fucking talk about the Ion situation."
yeah. I've been trying to get as much as I can from their conversation without trying to look weird about being like, oh, I need to know everything kind of thing. Because I don't want, I don't want to hurt Sink, but I feel like it might end bad, and I don't. Yeah,
The thing
we
is,
need to talk.
I mean, the only other person who I can really, you haven't been here, and the only other person I can really have a conversation with about this is, I suppose, Eve. But I mean, things. I don't know how much you remember, but things haven't been great the last couple of days for me. But I mean, Sink's a good boy. Sink's a good boy. I mean, I don't think he'd hurt a fly. I trust Sink. I have no reason not to trust Sink, but we're all in fucking agreement here. I mean, we know. We don't need to spell it out. Ion's the fucking dragon, and Ion is bad news. Lucian is really, really bad news, and Sink is connected to both of them, and Ion, he trusts Ion so much. He's in denial about the whole thing. I think if it comes down to it, he will do the right thing, but what do we do? I don't want him to have to be in that situation and come to that realization at that time, and I don't want the people I care about to be in danger when that happens. So, I don't know, how do we handle it?
Well, unfortunately, what I feel like we obviously need to get rid of Ion.
Yeah,
I
he's a
mean,
dragon. He's killing people.
Yeah.
He
he's
murdered my
killing
mercenary
people.
company. And
Yeah.
Eve's family
Exactly.
need to get set free in order for the dragon to die. So the
And-
dragon needs to die in order for Eve's family to be set free, even if the dragon wasn't murdering
Exactly.
people.
Right.
And there's
You
fucking Lucian. Lucian is dying 100%.
Lucius.
Sorry, Lucius.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. There's orders, he's killing people that part of our party, and basically what I'm hoping is when it comes down to it, Sync will make the right choice and we could potentially convince him on the way. But I don't know how to get around it if he chooses not to. I would like to not kill him, but possibly find a way to, like,
Sync is
knock him out, incapacitate him while we do the thing, and
this is the thing. Sync is a really good lad. The thing
I
is,
know.
I don't know if we can convince Sync that. I don't know if we can convince Sync unless he sees it with his own eyes. Is the problem? I don't know if we can convince him on the way without him seeing that Ion is bad news. Like that's the problem. Like I don't know if this is a problem that can be overcome with words. I'd like to think it is, but because you said it. I don't know if you remember. Even when you didn't have your soul with you, you would just say it because you didn't fucking care. You'd just say he's the dragon, and he'd just be like, no, like you just say it, and I don't know that you can't rationalize someone out of a position they didn't rationalize themselves into, and this is kind of my worry. This is kind of my worry. If we just fight with him about it, I wonder if that will just make things worse. I wonder if there's sort of two positions here. We fight with him about it on the way, and like maybe he comes to and has an epiphany, and that's great. Or it just makes things worse. Or we get there and he sees Ion, and that's what makes it like come to, and he can't deny reality anymore. I think he'll make the right decision because he's a good lad, but there's a small chance that it just that it breaks him. I don't think he'll turn on us because I have no reason to think that he will. I don't think he'll do that, but my thing is that he just maybe won't be able to fight him. I think that's more likely than anything. He won't do anything. Right.
Yeah.
I do think I maybe have a solution to that. Like, maybe I can instill him with heroism because I am a paladin.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I feel like you said, arguing with him about it isn't really a good way to go. Like, that's not really how you convince anybody of anything, honestly.
Just when he's
like, yell at them until they believe it? Like, what?
As much as I'd like to think that would work just with him, I don't think it will. Like, just, if it did work, I'd do it because that's how I normally confront problems. But just with him, I don't think it will. Just with him, I don't think it will.
Yeah. So I think our alternative would be to think of a plan to kind of like incapacitate him, like hold person or some kind of spell. So when the time comes, he doesn't really get in our way of doing what we need to do. But also, like you said, if he for some reason decided like, I'm gonna stick on my master side and join him, we don't want him to do that either.
Right. I don't think that's likely. I don't see that. I trust him. I have no reason not to.
No, yeah.
He's shown nothing like that. I really of anyone here, you and him are the ones I actually trust the most.
Yeah. Well, the thing with that is like trust, and people make mistakes because they think it's right.
That's true. Everyone
and I don't want him to make a mistake because he thought it was right.
Everyone trusts the wrong person at some point. I've trusted the wrong people before, and that led me to make the wrong decision once. Right now, Sync is trusting the wrong person, And, maybe that's why I identify so much with him. I understand why he's doing. I followed the wrong person before. Right now, he's following the wrong person.
Right into
Right.
battle.
Right into battle.
Right into battle. Right.
Right
why I'm
into
trying
battle.
not to be angry with him after.
I'm
Sorry, the cops are coming for Ion right now.
that's the thing,
I literally was like, is that real life or is that
It's just fantasy. Move on.
and that's the thing. That's the thing. I really can't be angry with the fella because, I just kind of feel sorry for him. Like, I really do. I can't be angry with him, even though you'd think it would be. It's so obvious, but it's so obvious that it's Ion. But for fuck's sake, it's just.
right.
It just hurts.
I take this time to kind of quickly tell Leston about my traumatic memory because I'm just realizing that she doesn't know what it actually is. So I give a little brief this is kind of how I got my soul back. This was the memory that got me. So I'm like, I understand what you mean by not being able to be mad at him, but at the same time, I'm like, how can he just be so blind and dumb? And so that's why my behavior was a little crazy earlier. But you're right. Like I said, I think our best course of action at this point is just to figure out when we see Ion.
While you're saying that,
Okay.
while you're saying that, we flash back to the room, and Killian, after having his hands on Sink's shoulders for a little while, he kind of looks past him out the door, and then he looks back at Sink, and he points to his ear, and he points out the door, and then he gives you a head nod, as if he rolled a 17 on perception and can hear you from the other side as you guys are talking right there.
Who told him he
Sink,
could roll?
what do you
I
do?
didn't hear anything.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You tell the rolls.
So Killian is warning me that they're talking about me?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's saying he hears stuff.
He's you've seen him do this before when Ion is talking about you to somebody else in the other room, and he makes that symbol someone's talking about you. He points out the door, and he kind of gives you a nod to go out there.
Can I blink outside the door in front of him?
Yeah, you do. You know this place like the back of your hand, so blinking through walls is no problem. You know exactly where you're gonna be. And you blink, and it's just as you're finishing that sentence. By the way, finish that sentence.
Which would be as soon as. Okay, our plan has to be that as soon as we get in front of Ion, we have to figure out how to.
Boom! He appears.
I kind of look at them both with stern.
I obviously jump back and I'm like, whoa, there he is.
I kind of look at them both with stern, concerned eyes, and I just kind of look at them and say, "Guys, we need to talk."
Sure.
And that's all I say.
Okay.
In Hadian's office. No joke.
His office.
Leston and I are just
Firstly-
okay. Yeah.
Thurnaga. Leston. My master has given me a command to kill you.
Well,
Leston, I'm to start with you. This symbol, huh?
And then boom, all the kids grab knives. Killian bust out with knives. Roll initiative. No, I'm joking. Sorry. Go on.
Just a bunch of little kids with shivs. Yeah.
Still taller than Leston.
My posture, straighten up, and I'm just what's he getting at, kind of thing. Is he saying all this to mean he's gonna like attack us right now, kind of thing. So I'm like,
Leston wonders if he's joking. Like is this like a
I
Leston's like,
unbutton my shirt. I unbutton my shirt again, and I show them that the symbol, and I was just talking to my brother, and I figured out what these symbols mean. And I look at Leston. My choices are to kill you or to die. I have my master watching me at this point, and he's waiting to see what I'm going to do. What I'm not going to do is I will not betray you and my other friends. With that being said, there's only a matter of time before this symbol in the front activates. And when it does, I'm going to go through 5 stages of obsession, as my brother Killian had explained. I will first become obsessed with myself and my capabilities. I will then become agitated, easily angry and frustrated and defensive. I will then become obsessed with the idea of completing a task. Before we get to that point, we must figure out how to remove this symbol. Because without the removal, I don't know what's going to happen. And I have a suspicion that Ion and Lucian are actively watching my whereabouts and could potentially be listening to me right now with this conversation.
why do you think he wants you to kill us?
I don't know. It's probably because he wants to test my loyalty to him. On the plus side, and I kind of get a little less serious, I figured out the other dragon. There's another dragon down south. Killian was explaining it to me. It's a big dragon. He's green and he is evil. I'll bet that Ion went down there to kind of scope it out after we had explained to him that there was an evil dragon around here.
Unfortunately, that's not the dragon we're looking for. We're looking for an ice dragon. Remember, cold.
Do we know that this isn't an ice dragon?
It's a green dragon. Green.
You
dragon.
guys firsthand have had a frost attack in the caravan, not to mention Leston's firsthand experience with the mercenaries.
We remember the color of the dragon that did that, right? So.
Oh yeah, that too. Not only ice breath, but also white dragon.
Yeah, the dragon was white, so.
Yeah. Also, kind of seemed more like not like a giant dragon. Good sized dragon.
What do I know about curses?
Roll an Arcana check. Or religion.
Religion's better. 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're a paladin. Roll religion.
Curses are pretty powerful. Most of the time, remove curse is able to take care of it. However, there do exist some curses in the world that would take a wish spell or more. Curses typically are set when either you betray somebody, you break an agreement. Usually there's like a clause that has to be met. So like, let's say that like you were tasked to help out an old woman and you stole from her. Even if she's not magical, she could put a curse on you, and honestly, it might happen. Low chance if she's not magical, and also if you don't have a lot of relation with her. But the stronger the connection, the stronger the curse, and also the stronger the betrayal.
Okay. So as far as I know, I suppose I don't know, but Sync hasn't like betrayed Ion to begin with. He's like put this curse on him to try and force him to do something.
Yes.
Does that change things? Because I did roll a 20.
Yeah. So you would probably have this additional information. It might not be that, like, it's like, hey, kill them now. But if he stated to kill them, you might think that, like, every day that you guys live or not get murdered by his hands is maybe every day this curse festers just a little bit more.
But would that affect, like, maybe how difficult it is to remove? If,
Yes.
like... Okay, so... Okay. So would it, do you think it
Can
might...
only a spell get rid of it? Or, like, if we, like, this is obviously, like, if you killed Ion, like, killed the cursor...
Most typical run-of-the-mill curses can be removed by a level 3 spell. Easily. It's like getting a shot for the flu or something. Like, it's not a big deal. Or like insulin or something.
Right.
But it depends. Did Sync, did you share more like, we can just, like, quickly, like, yada yada it, but are you planning on sharing more of the curse information with Leston and Thornaga?
No, because I'm concerned with that. It'll be a complete breach of trust and it'll activate the other spell. So I'm going to kind of imply that there's more without saying that there's more.
So without additional knowledge from what he knows, you just know that there are curses out there. And this might be a situation because of the close relationship with what they have and with the strong symbol that was put on his chest, as well as Thurnaga, back when you guys were in Falcon's Lodge, was able to see that there was a deep, dark evil within that scar. That cumulative together might add together that this thing is something stronger than just a remove curse can do.
Okay. Alright. I mean, if this guy is working...
And you also know that if you kill the person that curses you, you're also no longer cursed. So, there's that too.
Right, okay.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Right,
Yeah.
that's also what I was trying to get at. Alright. Well, alright.
I died. I checked on him. He's good.
Well, if,
He's good. He's breathing.
I don't want to have to say this to you, but there's a couple of things we can do. I mean, we are in a city. If you happen to want to try and get someone to cast Remove Curse on you and it doesn't work, if you kill the person who cursed you, you won't die. At least in my experience. I don't know of any other curses that don't work like that, but I'm also not a fucking expert on curses. So you have a third option. You can kill me, you can die, or you can kill the person who cursed you, and you happen to know who that is. So I've given you a third option.
And then the fourth mystery option of doing something insane if they ever figure out what can break the curse, if anything.
Or the,
Well, I mean,
or
they
the fourth
wouldn't-
option of knowing someone who happens to know how to warp reality and cast Wish, but I don't even know if that's a real thing. I've only heard fucking legends of that. I don't know of anyone who can actually do that.
Out of game, I've literally never seen that spell cast in the 10 years I've been playing. Not once.
I mean, like, mummy rot and stuff like that are usual curses, but, like, this is something from a book I like to call Grim Hollow that is like a 5e substitute. So I got it from somewhere else, not from...
Yeah, so you have four.
Wait.
So technically speaking, you have 4 options. You have kill me, die, kill Ion, or fourth, fucking hope for a miracle, I guess.
She's right.
Gag and maim me.
I didn't say anything about maiming you.
You were talking about taking me out of commission so I can't get in your way.
That's not maiming you. That's just like knocking you out. I'm not like, yeah, let's knock him out, take off his legs, and like.
And Fennis, that was
No, maim.
that was only if you were looking to like attack us, and we did suggest hold person rather than other options.
Yeah.
And I did suggest that I had other options that didn't involve that.
I don't know. Would me telling them any more information help out with trying to figure out what we're doing with it?
You can tell them that your brother's looking into it. Like you got this. Like the scrolls are forbidden scrolls from like Eastern arts and medicines and symbols.
Yeah.
He may be looking into that. There's a whole Eastern culture that does not that's foreign to the Sword Coast. Something that Ion brought over with him.
Yeah, okay. So I give them that information, letting them know that Killian is looking into it as to how to remove it, but truth be told, we don't know, or I don't know how long this curse is going to last. What I do know is that once it starts, you can't stop it unless you remove it. So you might see me acting a little bit stranger than normal with my weird reflection at some point.
God.
Which sounds interesting.
Yeah, I totally forgot which one you had until now.
Yeah, it was the obsession of how mighty you are, like looking at the mirror like, I am Sync. I was handpicked by Ion. I am the coolest guy.
It's like a curse of narcissism.
Essentially, I'm sure that would be one of them.
Yes.
That's like Gaston.
It's the actual thing is called Curse of Conceited Obsession. That's what we landed on.
Conceited obsession.
Narcissus.
But at this point, I kind of want to go to my other brother's room. Killian says it's completely clean, but I would like to examine it a little bit more thoroughly. And I would still like to go home because I know Ion came back for me. And maybe there's something there. Something that can lead us to where he might be going next.
Okay.
If as he leaves, Lester's just sort of going to give like Thanagra a look.
What is this look supposed to tell me?
Like just sort of like a kind of like
I actually see the look.
like just sort of a confused look as she sort of like goes. So this is new. Sync is potentially been told to kill all of us, but at least he's told us about it and he doesn't plan to. That's new.
Right, but like you said, we gotta keep an eye on him, so...
Well, at least we know what we're dealing with.
That whole curse thing, yeah. Wow.
Well, I mean, ideally you guys will look for a way to clear it for me.
At least we know we can be prepared for it.
I like the idea of just killing it. No, okay.
I know you're kidding.
Yeah. Alright, yeah.
That's all.
At least now it's not weird if we're, like watching him extra. Because he told us to.
That's all.
Okay.
So you head over to Hadian's room. I did so good up until this point.
You did. Yeah, I was so proud of you.
You go over to Hadian's room, and you see it is indeed cleared out. And even a thorough check shows that nothing remains except for like a sleeping roll on the floor, like a mat that you guys would sleep on.
I would like to check for a hidden button, room, or what have you. Like do some knocks, see if there's anything hollow behind, underneath the floors. I don't know. I don't. Something like that.
With your knowledge and time spent here, even taking a 20, like let's say that you got a natural 20, you still don't find anything. It is a bare room. Just that. Nothing underneath the mat either.
I want to the mat itself. I want to cut it open.
It's very thin. So it's like there's really nothing to cut open, but you even tear the mat apart, and now this empty room is just messy with like hay mat everywhere.
Dang.
I was thinking like it's a yoga mat. I'm like,
yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, okay.
It's like one of those like weird I don't know too much about like medieval Eastern culture, but yeah, kind of like a sleeping mat.
Okay, clearly nothing here then. I mean, what I can see. Do I see no? Nothing out the window, nothing I found nothing hidden. Okay.
Nope.
I guess that was pretty useless.
Hey, you
Nothing
never
underneath
know.
the floorboard. Yeah, never know. Nothing underneath the floorboards.
This man did a clean sweep when he left.
Okie dokie. I leave the room.
Is that unusual for him to do? I don't know your brother, so.
No, not really. Not him.
Okay.
Not really. Not him. Okay. I guess at this point, then I would like to return home.
All right. You guys going with him?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
We're running out of time here. Let's have a quick description of your home.
It's pretty bare. It actually looks somewhat similar to that of the dojo. The difference here is that the door is it's not red. The door is more of a green door. Color being kind of important.
Team Green, yeah. It's always important.
The
Correct.
symbol isn't on the top. The symbol is actually on the door itself as an indication. And it looks, again, it has just a single window. It's not ginormous, but it's a good sized little home.
How many rooms?
It's 3 rooms. One for me, one for Ion, and one for one of the brothers if they come and visit.
All right. We talking like studio apartment, kitchen, bath, any walk-in closets?
We got like a closet or two. It's nothing really that fancy. It's more like an apartment. It's more like a nice apartment. Really, is what it is.
Central air?
Of course, central
They
air.
have-
I'm just fucking with you at this point. I'm real estate.
This
So you walk
only a
in.
humble apartment, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, hot tub in the back, whatever.
You walk in and you see your house in the state that you left a month ago. Your perishables or your non-perishables are probably still in the cupboard. It's when you left, you knew that you kind of were tagging along with this troop to try to find Ion. Initially, that was your goal. He's been gone for far too long. And your goal was to find him yourself because he's never been away this long. So you had time to pack up to make sure that everything's good. You didn't leave in a rush. There's no spoiled food on the table. Everything does have about a month of dust on it, but it's not that bad. Maybe the air is stale as you go through the door. But as you kind of walk in to your kitchen, let's say with everybody else, and kind of get acclimated to the place, you feel as though something is slightly off. And as you look up towards the rafters, a figure jumps down almost on top of you. And before we roll for initiative, we are going to end there tonight.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing. Ugh.
All right, let's cut this fucking music.
Hey.
All right.
I think, usually if I start off a game low energy and then I get in the middle of it we get a high energy, I think that's a win still.
Oh man,
You
I'm
know?
actually really glad that we wound up playing because for a while I was just man, I wonder if I should even play it, but I'm so glad we played.
It was really your suggestion of hey, look, I want to do something, Thernaga's in the middle of something, and Sync has something to do, so why not just us three play since we
Yeah.
have to do something in the town anyway.
We all had
that
enough stuff to
suggestion,
do.
Badger, that you were saying was a good suggestion. That's what really got me into like, okay, well, yeah, then let's focus on this. Let's get this going.
Yeah, we all had enough
Yeah.
stuff to do individually, and then it wound up actually being a good like session to like wrap up all the stuff. And man, it was so fun. Like it cheered me up so much to like hear like the inventions of my family like being described. That like put me in a good mood, and then like, oh wow, like it wound up being a good session.
I did have fun with the inventions. I thought that a lot of them were pretty fun. Like the bounce shoes, where he calibrated them too strong because it's like, oh hey, we know how much a gnome weighs, so we can calibrate them for a gnome. But like we don't know how much of a human weighs, so instead of doing it like 5 times more powerful like they should have, they might have done it 10.
Yeah,
You know, just boom, almost blew their calves out. You know.
basically.
But yeah, that is
No, it wound up being good
that was
because it's
pretty
just
good.
like
We got a lot of
yeah.
good stuff out.
it wound up being like
And,
actually we have a ton to do because like I needed to like Thanaga has her soul back. Leston actually really needs to talk to her about, you know, the
Right?
sink situation, you know?
Leston and Thurnaga had a really good, really brought together a really good moment to suss out what's going on. I feel like repair a couple bridges and really look towards the future of what you guys should do. And then just
Or visionary.
really sync going through, you know, talking with Killian, figuring out what's going on with Hayden, getting a lot of the other information here they needed. Really, I think all that started turning out real well, real good.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow. I just had like a wicked big yawn. I was like trying to talk, but it wasn't happening.
Are you still outside?
No. I went inside because I had to get my kids into bed and it was getting dark and I didn't want them to be in the dark and have to be like, where did you go?
Where did you go? Wow. But yeah, no, I definitely think that we turned the energy around. So that's good. And yet again, Badger, I'm going to associate this game with you because you know you're the one that's like, hey, us three have things to do. Let's just us three do our shit. And I'm like, you know what?
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
The thing is, I didn't really have anything to do. I was like, I don't have any, like, you know, I don't have any places to visit. I don't have, like, oh, there's a shop I want to go to. I'm like, I just got my things back. So,
But you ended up,
yeah.
you know, kind of being from the state of like distraught and you don't know what to do with your character to your character now has a goal. You guys kind of talk things out a little bit. You're connecting some dots. You guys have a game plan for the future. Like this was a very constructive session.
And it was cool because you got to role play.
completely agree.
You got to role play out the tension with Sync, which was really
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, it's better than just kind of talking it out.
Yeah. I was like,
We got the curse on the table as well as kind of like some meaning of the stuff. So that is now a named thing rather than just not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah, and I actually
Yeah.
and Leston now knows that well actually everyone technically, but specifically Leston and Thanaga know that Sync has been told to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
I
y'all.
was surprised as well as everybody else with like, holy shit, he just came out to say it. And that is big. It's really big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to do a little face palm when he was like, but don't worry. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to go find the bad dragon. I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously?
Yeah, we latched on. Well, we latched on to another false situation, but honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world, you know?
What do you mean?
It was just really funny.
And I'm really
What do you mean
interested.
you left under that situation?
We latched on to another dragon, which Sync is
Ah.
convinced is
Yeah.
not
I just
is the issue rather than the
There's no-
glaring issue of
There's,
Ion.
there's
course
4
he is.
dragons. There's 4 dragons now.
Right?
No.
It's just
I
that
was just
scene
gonna-
with Vegeta where he's counting out the fucking androids like 4. You know,
Yeah.
it's like fuck.
But like,
Guys, look at it from my perspective. We're getting told that there's only one dragon, and I'm telling you guys, there's obviously another dragon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we find out there is another dragon. So clearly, that makes total sense to me.
But
I want you to see it from our perspective, where we've seen the dragon, we've seen Ion turn into the dragon, and have
clearly the
our
same
own
dragon.
little memories that this is the actual dragon, and you're going, nah, there's like 2 dragons. And we're like, where did this other dragon come from? Show us your work. Show us your work.
But there is another dragon. There is another dragon.
I know, there is another dragon. That's why it's really funny when you're like, don't worry, he's going to go get that other dragon.
But
I like what's south of the Sword Mountains, and I rolled like an 18. I'm like, well, there is a legend of like ancient green dragon, but you know, I'm there forever.
There is in fact
much about the world.
There is in fact more than one dragon in the world. But like, no, I'm actually really
Dungeons and dragons.
Yeah, dungeon and or dragon.
Dungeon, one dragon. That's your budget. Everything else is roleplay.
But like
that's your budget.
The more I learn, like the more interested I am to know like what the hell is actually Ion's deal. Like, is he actually like a guy who was like totally corrupted by, you know, Lucius, like, you know, because I mean Lucius is clearly like the fucking bad news bear here. Like Lucius is like 100% the evil guy, but like, you know, was Ion just like a victim of this guy? Like you know, I'm really interested to know what the whole deal is. You know, that whole conversation was really, really interesting. That, you know, the plot thickens.
I am 300%, like, I'm so fucking happy that, like, you are looking at this layer with, like, you know, like, maybe it's not one-sided, you know, there is Ion, there is Sync, there is Lucius, there is the dragon, there is everything else that's happy, and I'm glad that, like, you're looking at, like, the layer kind of like that, because I do have this whole thing written out, and I am putting key things in here for reasons. I'm neither going to confirm nor deny anything that you guys say until you get figured out.
Of course,
but there's definitely a reason why I'm doing it.
I'm even like, why did he like make this dojo? Did he make this dojo and got all these orphans to like be his little assassin army? Like, what? But why?
Yeah,
why does he need to have a little assassin army when he's so powerful? Or like, obviously to do his bidding or whatever. But then I'm like,
for sure, he did build it.
But that whole
he definitely did build it.
He definitely built it.
That whole that whole conversation about like how he changed after meeting Lucius, like that was like really, really interesting to me. So I'm really interested to know what the hell is going on with this guy, because I mean Lucius is like 100% like, I mean, she's obviously like he's obviously the one who Leston is most
the big bad
for Leston anyway. So but you know that's
again,
really interesting.
And again, I mean, there is a reason why Sync is so undyingly loyal to this guy,
and I want to know what it is.
Like, it's not
other than just like he rescued you from your box kind of thing.
Yes, of course.
Well, I don't know. From like my perspective, it's always been he saved me from the box. Like, that's all you've ever been.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Sorry, we were talking about Hayden this whole time, and I couldn't resist.
Because don't forget, Leston literally knows nothing about like any of this. Like, that's why I even put into that conversation, like, Sync wouldn't hurt anybody. She has no idea that he's killed like any innocent person. She has no idea that he's an assassin.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think any of us know that he's like an assassin. We just know that he was adopted by this guy Ion, and he taught him how to defend themselves. Like,
that's as much as she knows.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she knows Ion runs an orphanage that is a dojo. That's about as much as she knows about Ion.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a little bit of misconception there. So I know that we've been throwing around orphanage a lot, but correct me if I'm wrong.
He runs a dojo,
Sync buddy. Yeah, but he runs a school, and he gets people from an orphanage.
Right.
Sync was taken from an orphanage.
Right.
He doesn't run an orphanage. He imports students.
Right. That's correct. That's what Leston's perception is.
Yeah, sorry.
He runs a dojo and he takes in orphans. That's what my perception is.
Exactly. Yeah. So, we don't know that he's actually like an assassin, but then he did just tell us that his like, that's why I'm like, why would he like have you do that. Like, that seems weird for your master to just say, you should go kill this person, when, like, to us, you're not just this person that just goes and assassinates people, right?
Yeah, we have no idea.
That's weird. Like, we just know that he's a bad guy in our own story.
The only reason that we even know that he's a bad guy is because of the whole, like, dragon thing, really. And because he's associated with Lucius.
Well, keep in mind, people ask other to kill people who aren't trained all the time, so that's not super sus. Not super sus right there. It is what it is.
And also, like, yet again, it also depends on what information you guys share with each other.
Right.
In what detail.
I think
because like a lot of these things are flashbacks, private conversations, stuff like that.
Right. The only stuff that we know that has revealed the story is because of, like, the very recent shared flashback that we had, and because of the conversation in the hut.
Right.
So because of the information that we got that Lucius Rainier is behind everything, and we know that Lucius Rainier is working with Ion, and because Ion is the dragon who attacked us, and because of the shared flashback that we had.
Alleged.
Like, the shared flashback that we had when we touched the thing. That's what sort of, like, kind of tied the plot together. But, like, all the individual flashbacks we had, the only ones that have sort of been shared are Eve's flashback, because I confronted her about it, and Thanaga's flashback, which she has just shared with me about Ion.
That's why I was like, I should definitely say that I shared this. Otherwise, like, literally nobody has no idea what just happened.
And Leston
and Leston you guys don't have to go into detail. You just be like, hey, I want to share this information too. That's also enough.
Exactly.
And Leston has also now revealed her backstory, but that's not like a flashback. Leston has just revealed her backstory.
Right.
And how it ties into Lucius.
Well, I guess technically I told everybody.
Yeah. How does it tie into Lucius again?
So Leston has, like, this was sort of revealed in the hut, but I've just sort of provided context. So this is what Leston has sort of tied together. This sort of wasn't revealed in flashback, but what Leston has figured out is that so what Leston's backstory essentially is that when she was a soldier, this is about, like, let's just say it was like five-ish years ago, like within the last 5 years, she was fighting in a war for her kingdom, who she served for like 20 years, and her company of about like 500 people were given an order by the king's messenger to go, like, meet up with the rest of the army because they were going to take the city. The messenger said, come by these roads. This is the roads that I just took. They're totally safe. And the order was given to her best friend and captain, which is Captain Kieran. And they said, yep, okay, we're going to take these roads. Everything's great. Except that the road that they traveled had actually been scouted by the king's messenger, and the enemy army of 20,000 was there. And the whole point was that this group of like 500 men were going to be used as a decoy to get totally ambushed and wiped out by this force of 20,000 without even a chance to defend themselves, without being informed that that was their purpose, so that the king's army could take this abandoned city. So Leston's entire company was totally wiped out, obliterated, like, were not even given the chance to defend themselves. And if they had been told that that was their purpose, they obviously would have done that. They would have fought bravely and held out for as long as they could. They would have, been given the opportunity to set up defensive positions. Maybe they could have, some of them might have survived, they could have held out longer. But instead, they were just, like, obliterated, like, so many of them died. Basically, yeah. Leston survived because she got knocked out really early, and she woke up in a pile of bodies. So basically they didn't have the opportunity to kill her because there were a whole lot of corpses on top of her. And when
we're going to talk about that last part, by the way. Cough.
Yeah, that's what she remembers. And so when she woke up, the whole story was that the Captain Kieran had disobeyed orders and led this company to try and steal the glory for himself, and everybody who had fought in this just disobeyed orders and was a coward and fled the battlefield, and like everyone who was involved in this, except for a scant few like Leston who stayed and fought, they were just cowards and traitors who didn't listen to the king's orders, which wasn't true. Obviously they had all obeyed orders, and everyone who had left the fight had been obeying an order that was given to retreat. So it basically, as far as Leston knew, she thought that the king had like deliberately sent them all to their own deaths. But she finds out that the one who was responsible from this, when they went to the hut, she finds out Lucius Rainier was responsible for what happened, because she asked the question, and that's what she was told. Lucius Rainier was behind it all. So that's what she knows now. This was all some kind of setup. She doesn't know how or why, but basically, some guy has been fucking with her life. Deliberately because of her.
Absolutely fucking with.
Yeah.
This was all because of her. Our fight, she was like, "Oh yeah, just following orders." Like that's why it like bothered her, because she's like, "That's what we were doing, following orders."
That's a big part of it. Like, that was a big part of it. She was in like a really bad mental state for those whole couple of days, because she just found out that like she already blamed herself for that she didn't see this ambush coming. Like, because she thought like, if I just like told Kieran to like send like some scouts ahead, maybe we would have seen this coming, maybe we would have lived. But now she finds out that like everyone died literally because some guy she never met before was fucking with her life. So everyone died, including like her best friend getting blamed for all this, and as far as she knows, getting executed, all because of her. So everyone died because of her. This is like literally the worst thing she could have found out.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, all right then.
That's
right.
Deal.
Exactly.
But all right, I do gotta back out though, guys. It's late.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm gonna head out. Before I head out, Badger, you remember Potato, right?
Potato.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember Potato.
Yeah. For anybody that's interested, he's just trying to do like a short Monday game with Starfinder, and I know that a couple of us, our Monday game has been put on hiatus for a little while. So I'm just saying that if anybody wants to fill that time slot with a level 5 Starfinder very short campaign,
yeah, maybe.
He is looking for people.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah, because I was like, fuck, I was doing something on that time slot anyway, and it's been like weeks since I've done that, because that was the Dungeon of the Mad Mage day, But unfortunately, Dano is, he went through a family member dying, and then he's relocating, and he said that he's probably not gonna be down until like August or something. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Understandably,
of course.
Yeah.
And and I was just like, hey, in the meantime, like, Potato was talking to me, Jacob, and he's like, I want to get a game going, I want to do this, and I was like, all right, cool, let me know. And I got some people that played on Monday, maybe they'll be interested.
Alrighty, that's the strength of the day. GG's.
Yep.